comes to the following a major development when it comes to the botched Harding Street raid. A murder charge against a former Houston police officer in connection with that deadly raid has now been dismissed.
And that charge was thrown out because of what the DA's office says was questionable conduct from a former prosecutor. Our Keith Garvin live downtown where the reaction is now pouring in tonight. Keith, what do we know about this former prosecutor?
Well, Dominique, Chris, our KPRC2 legal analyst Brian Weiss says that this former prosecutor has a very good reputation in most legal circles. But this termination letter from DA Kim Ogg says that Kobe Leslie was the reason this murder charge was dropped.
There's more to this than meets the eye.
On the eve of a hearing where the Harris County DA may have been required to turn over critical grand jury testimony in the botched Harding Street raid, a murder charge against former HPD officer Felipe Gallegos dismissed. The reason, according to DA Kim Ogg, the conduct of a now terminated prosecutor who handled the case raised concerns about that attorney's judgment.
Standing about 5 or 6 feet away, raises the gun.
KPRC2 has learned that former prosecutor is Kobe Leslie, seen here in court on a different trial. Our legal analyst Brian Weiss says his sources on both sides of the system say Ogg's claims don't match up.
This prosecutor has served with distinction under 4 different administrations, and unlike some prosecutors who have a reputation of throwing elbows and cutting corners, this prosecutor's a straight shooter.
Weiss also points out that Ogg's statement on the dismissal fails to link Leslie directly to misconduct on the Harding Street case. In the meantime, swift responses from other key players. Attorney for the family of victim Dennis Tuttle said, quote, "This is a gut punch, no question about it." HPD Police Chief Troy Fenner said, "I respect the DA. I'm just hoping that everybody in this Tuttle case gets a fair shake and justice is served for everybody." The president of the Houston Police Officers Union also chimed in. "We believe that the charge of murder was an overreach by the grand jury from the start." This is another blow in a string of cases for the DA, including the case against the Arkema chemical plant and the failed attempt to prosecute a Harris County doctor for administering COVID vaccines. Weiss says it may be a sign of hasty lawyering.
The fact that we've seen this pattern of high-profile cases going south quicker than a Kardashian marriage tells me that perhaps at some level there may have been a rush to judgment in bringing this case before a grand jury.
And I did make contact with Kobe Leslie this evening, and the former Air Force Academy graduate who is now practicing tax law at this point is not offering any statements. Reporting live from the HPD headquarters, Keith Garvin, KPRC2 News.
Thank you, Keith.